Skål gutta!
Skål! Skål!
It is summer, it is sun. It's time for some tipsy fun. Welcome back to the Penthouse Bar for another episode of Tipsy Wednesday. I'm your host this evening, Thomas, and with me as usual, Björn.
Hello, hello.
And Junior.
Hello.
Put down your fucking phone.
No.
What have we done to deserve this serenade of yours, Thomas?
I don't know.
Just a lovely summer evening.
It sure was before we started recording. Or up until the moment we were supposed to record. My kids came around and just going to fix something in the kitchen, and they spilled soda all over the table.
Ah, lovely.
Yep. And I used the whole fucking yesterday to wash my, to clean the house. Changed everything on top of the table, the tablecloth and everything, and now it's fucking soaked.
Lovely.
I was happy, and then I was less happy, and now I'm happy again. So yeah.
Decide, are you happy or not?
Right now happy.
Yes.
Right now.
Time for some tipsy fun time.
Yeah. So how's the weekend been? Yeah, no.
I thought.
No one?
What? Sure, it's been lovely. I've been on the move. We've been venturing to another one of our how do you call it? Party festivities at the. No, it's not a local. How the fuck do you translate this? Really, it's junior. Because we were both there at the same venue. It was this stand-up comedy show in this in a rural town, small town, where the
a neighboring province.
Yeah, that the townsfolk gathered for some stand-up comedy and drinks throughout the evening. So we decided to partake in that as well, even though it wasn't in our town. It was like a 2-hour drive for me at least, and at the same time, like neighboring town, it was close by where my sister lives, so called her up and asked if we could stay over the night, so we did, and yeah, it was I've had a lovely weekend. So
Bless you.
Yeah, bless you. And Junior was partaking at the same venue, the stand-up venue.
Yeah.
Stand-up event, rather.
Had some beers. Had some fun.
Yes.
Yeah, good.
Don't remember anything, but it was surely
You don't remember it. You weren't that shit-faced drunk. You were a bit tipsy, but I'm sure you could recall most of the evening. Yeah, tipsy.
Yeah.
In this case, it was Tipsy Saturday.
Oh, wrong day to be tipsy on.
You gotta be tipsy on Wednesday.
Yeah, it's Wednesdays.
I don't remember so much of the stand-up jokes.
Well, that's the thing. As I said to my girlfriend, like the venue opened the doors for people to come in at 8:00 in the evening, and the stand-up event started around 9. And I told my girlfriend beforehand, like, I wonder if this is going to be one of the nights where people will, because of the late hour the stand-up event is taking place, yeah. I wonder if there will be many people who are maybe a bit too drunk to pay attention or to keep quiet. And sure enough, I was correct. There were most of the stand-up performances by the two stand-up comedians who were there was mostly focused on like interacting with drunk people because they were very loud and wanted to say something all the time. So we didn't get much of a stand-up performance from the things they probably had prepared funny stories, funny jokes, and whatnot. It was mostly a comedian interacting with a drunk
The audience.
audience. Yes, a drunk audience, because the majority of people there probably had a bit too much to drink to be able to pay properly attention to what was happening on stage. It's like, not the most ideal, but I'm sure they've had worse. So it was like, it wasn't horrible, but some people had gotten a little bit too much of a tipsy Saturday. Yeah, but overall it was overall fun. But I think it could have been better if people had been less tipsy. But I don't think that's a fault of the comedians. I think that's a fault of the venue, not putting them on stage early enough. Because if you leave people for long enough with alcohol, you know what happens. They'll get drunk. And I think if they've entered stage an hour earlier, yeah, it would have been a much better performance from the a stand-up point of view. That's just my thoughts. But it was enjoyable still, I think. What's your opinions regarding this, Junior? You were at the same venue, but you were a bit more tipsy than me, but not very shit-faced drunk or anything like that. So
I thought it was a jolly good old time.
Jolly good old time, yeah.
Yeah, and because of the vibes, I would say, you could easily get more beers. Because you have to leave the venue, right? And then get more beer, and then come back. I did that a lot, and I had pee breaks, right?
Oh, yeah. You had to, like, in the stage area, to go to get more drinks, you have to go over to the bar. It was, like, in another room, literally. So it's like to exit the stage area venue. Is that what you're referring to?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
And pee breaks were very commonly for my...
As soon as you have those nights when you start drinking the first sip of beer and you start just pissing all night. Just have to go to the toilet every half hour. And then you have other nights where you can drink lots of beer and not go to the toilet very much at all. I don't see the logic, but you know, I didn't feel I had to go to the toilet very often, but I didn't drink very much. Yeah, I drank 2 or 3 beers, I think. So it was like, very modest amount for an entire night.
Regarding beers and peeing, I think you can go a long time before you have to pee. It's just when you first start to pee, then it's
right.
often.
Yeah. So the trick is to just keep your bladder shut for as long as humanly possible.
Yeah, but from that point on, you have to go peeing a lot.
Yeah, maybe there's something to it.
Nah.
Oh well.
But it's good to hear you had a fun Saturday. You know who didn't have a fun Saturday?
What? Well, how's your Saturday been, Thomas?
I cleaned the house. Fuck my Saturday. I was now thinking about Putin.
Okay.
He had his own thing going on Saturday.
Yes. How's inform us how that what that's all about.
Well, it should be old news by the time the podcast hits, but such is the rules. But hey, well, you know Wagner, the mercenary group,
the private military
contractors. Yeah.
Yes.
They kinda pulled out of Ukraine and hunkered down in Russia, and then started marching towards Moscow, like 25,000 strong, I think, with tanks and everything.
Yeah, they pretty much took a U-turn in this
and then the news
fight.
hit, and Putin was out in his news outlets saying they had to beat them back, and there would be consequences, and all these kinds of things. And later in the evening, I heard Wagner had turned around and went back to the front lines.
Huh? What?
What?
Yeah,
They made a double U-turn?
they kind of just gave up the march on Moscow. I heard that Belarus's president Lukashenko had brokered a deal. So the Wagner mercenaries went back to their outposts and whatnot, and the leader of Wagner, who I don't remember the name of, is now in Belarus.
Are you sure about this?
I'm very sure about this. I have kept up
Because
on the news on this front.
yeah, because I know that they marched to Belarus, but do you know if everyone just like returned to the front line?
Yeah, most of them did. Some went to Belarus, and the rest went to outposts. And I don't know if they actually went back into Ukraine, but they at least withdrew from their march towards Moscow.
Yeah, that is what I heard as well. But
So,
they did fight the Russian army.
Did they now?
They blew some helicopters and planes.
Ah, yeah, that's right. I heard 3 helicopters was the number I heard when I checked up on that.
I believe it's a lot more because 13 pilots died or something.
Ah,
So they went guns out blazing, but
yeah. Well, I know that the reason for this, or at least what the Wagner leader said, was they wanted to take out the military leaders of Russia because they don't know what they're doing, and they're lying to Vladimir Putin and whatnot. He has been spouting a lot of stuff these past days on social medias.
yeah, but that is. Do you know why this shit happened in the first place?
No, but I will guess from what I heard him saying earlier that he don't get what he needs from the Russian army when
No,
it
no,
comes
no,
to
no.
military
No.
stuff. And
No,
no,
no.
okay.
No, the reason is because Russia blew up his convoy.
Yeah.
So the Russian military actually fired on their own PMCs.
Nice. But regardless of the reason, do you think this will be a positive for Ukraine?
Yeah, of course.
Well, at least a little while they were fighting against the Russians. So, all in all, I guess it's a positive turn of events. Yeah.
And now President Putin seems a lot weaker. Because he wasn't even the one who brokered the deal with Wagner. He had to have Lukashenko do it.
Yeah. It's it's not very it's not the way they want it to be, the Russians.
No.
You shouldn't refer to them as the Russians. You should Putin. It's not the Putin way. He wants
Putin
to
regime.
Putin regime. He wants to seem strong to the Western world. Yeah, but that's not what's happening right now. He's
No, he lost a bit of face now, I think.
yeah, it's
and I think it gives the Ukrainians an upper hand for a little while now in all the confusion and whatnot. So, yeah, there we go. Russia, the big old mighty foe. Not so mighty if it weren't for all those damn nukes.
Nukes.
Nukes, yeah.
yeah.
I want one of those. A nuke
Why?
so I can threaten Russia. No. Joke.
Okay.
As Arnold said in the movie Twins, where he has lived and grown up on a secluded island, and he visits the big town or big city for the first time. He meets his twin brother, and they have some food made in the microwave, and he sits at the table and he's like, "Oh, I like nuked food."
Nuked food,
Nuked
yeah.
food, yeah. don't think you would like nuked food though. But yeah.
His interpretation of nuked food was microwaved food.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
So, yeah.
Well, it's close enough. So, what do
In other news though, we talked on our Norwegian podcast, and we should recap that quickly now because there was a little incident with a tiny submarine earlier this week or last week.
Yes,
when it
I bet the world has heard about this news for a long time about now. But
the millionaire and a couple of other rich people went down to see Titanic in a tin can, and it imploded.
it wasn't even tin. It was like glass fiber composite stuff. Yeah.
it was titanium
What?
as well.
I heard it was some glass fiber composite stuff.
Yeah, it was a lot of, but
A lot of stuff.
It was a little submarine made out of stuff, and it imploded and they died. But there was a huge search for them and whatnot for almost a week. But funnily enough, though, the mod community for PC gamers have now modded in a tiny submarine in GTA 5. With the same name and company name logo as the actual sub that got fucked. And you can use this submarine in the game, and if you go too deep, it will implode.
Oh no, that's dark. but I mean,
and I heard on Steam, among other places, like submarine games and whatnot, had a huge spike in popularity right now.
wow. Okay, because people are like being fed submarine news, submarines, and they're like, I want to play the submarine game of mine.
Yeah. So now they're buying a couple of submarine games on Steam. There was a couple of them mentioned in the article I saw, but I don't remember the names. And of course, the mod community modding in the exact sub in other games, GTA 5 among them. So yeah.
I never tried any submarine games. I wouldn't know where to. It's not been on my radar.
We played a submarine game on the PS1.
On the PS1?
Yes.
PlayStation 1, a submarine game. Oh, yes, I remember that stuff. I didn't even know what it's called, but it was this...
submarine game. It was
submarine
fucking hard.
Game. Yeah, it was.
Did it implode?
No, you fought the other submarines in it.
Ah.
Yes,
Submarine
it was called Submarine Commander.
I bet the graphics are awesome in that game.
No, as I recall, it was laid out as in the submarine action itself. It was on you could have the radar view. It was pretty much a green screen, and you had sonar, and you could detect other submarines in a post-apocalyptic world where the world was flooded, and naturally a submarine would be excellently suited for this. And you had to fight other submarines, and while you were off duty in a port, it was laid out like a visual novel with like it was like just artwork, as when you went to the pub and you went to the harbor and you went to the workshop, it was just different screens with menus for upgrade stuff.
I remember the sounds were very good.
Sounds?
Yeah,
maybe. I can't recall.
I got vivid memories of all the hatchets and but the doors.
Okay.
Very in depth.
So Submarine PS1 Submarine Commander long play 4K. It's a 3.5 hour video on YouTube.
In 4K.
Yeah, there's a YouTube channel called Long Plays. No, this one is by a YouTube channel called Levan, and it's a long play of Submarine Commander, just an uncut playthrough of the game. 3.5 hours. Okay. Yeah, but a submarine game. PlayStation 1. I would imagine there's more advanced submarine games nowadays. But they've not been on my radar, but I could see myself playing them because I like my tank games and I like my truck games, spaceship games. I like stuff like that. So maybe.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm just now getting a couple of pictures from the GTI 5 mod of the submarine. So for
Okay.
those who watch this now on YouTube, you will get a little treat in a second. And just have to open all the fucking folders here.
You're getting a picture of the.
See,
Oh,
there.
okay.
That's from
So that's
GTA
from
5.
the modded add-on you could download and put in your Grand Theft Auto 5 game.
Yeah, and you can dive down to Titanic and implode, I think.
Okay, I would guess that would be as true to reality as you could get. But still kind of, it's still kind of dark for me, it seems, to implement that feature, that aspect. It's like, people died in this. But at the same time, you kind of don't feel as bad for them because it's such a privilege to be able to afford something like this. That
What, pay 250,000 to die?
yes,
Can do that for free.
It's like you kind of feel less sorry for them because they were rich, but that doesn't say anything about their personalities. Like, but it's kind of like, yeah, when you can afford stuff like that, you better feel some pain. I don't know. It's you kind of have some I don't want to say mixed feelings, but it's a situation where the common man on the street wouldn't even be able to afford something like that. So you it's kind of hard to feel bad for them. Harder to feel bad for them.
Well, it's kind of lucky the normal guy on the street doesn't afford that.
Yeah,
He won't die.
imagine how people would. Yeah. Do you see what I mean? It's not. It doesn't seem as tragic, but because it was such an extreme case of this is only attainable for super rich people. Somehow that makes sense for me. I don't know if that makes me a horrible person or not. It's
now I'm just picturing you some horrible accident, the plane crashes or something, and a lot of people die, and you're like, but were they rich? And then you learn half of them were rich people, so we
don't feel that sorry for them. They were riding on first class? Nah, fuck them.
But yeah, it's nice you feel sorry for the common guy, but I think you should feel sorry for people in general when stuff like this happens.
Yeah, it's
although we make fun of it.
At least they died quickly.
Yeah, they imploded as well, I think.
I'm pretty sure in a case where the submarine imploded from the pressure of how many feet? 3,000 feet, 1,000 meters.
No, it wasn't 12,000 feet.
That's where they were headed, but I think it imploded on 1,000 meters. I'm not very well informed on this.
Yeah, but I do know there are a lot of strong currents around the Titanic and that area. So they could have been dragged away.
Regardless at what depth exactly, it's pretty much been confirmed that it imploded because they found wreckage pieces of this submarine.
Well,
Yeah.
at least that was the most humane thing to die of when you're supposed to die.
How do you?
I guess.
It just popped, and that was that.
Is it humane if it's fast enough? That's a weird how we humans perceive a humane death. A humane death in our eyes is something that isn't terribly graphic in nature.
Well, it is graphic, but it's just
it is very graphic.
Yeah, but
in,
it was fast and kind of painless. So
yeah,
that should be viewed as humane, but because it would be horrifying to witness or to look at, then it is not commonly known as a humane way to die, because we kind of mix how we view things in how we perceive a humane way to die. Yeah, you're looking like a big question mark here, Junior. Does that make any sense to you, or are you completely on the other side of the fence here?
No,
I would say
that's
this is the most.
Go on, Junior.
I would say this is the most humane way because they didn't realize what happened before they were dead.
So that's the new way they are now doing the death penalty in US. Death by
Wow,
implosion.
no.
They're
Whoa.
sending people to the depths in a tin
Wow. Wow, that's
Well, No.
and the guards like, this is really humane. Just enter here, sit down in this nice seat,
and suddenly
and
it'll
enjoy
just
your
go,
trip.
Just go boop, and everything's gone.
Well, the opposite. The opposite is cut off their limbs and let them bleed out slowly.
I don't think
What-
they do that.
how is that
at the death
humane
penalty.
in any way? It's
No,
not
that's
even
not-
painless.
No, that's not
Um,
humane. That's my point. That's the opposite.
Okay. Never mind. You're not on the complete opposite side of the fence, though. But do you see what I mean? It's let's say you have the death penalty in America performed by a lethal injection. That's still used in a lot of states in America, right? Lethal injection.
Yeah.
Do we know for certain that it is completely painless? We're pretty certain, but not 100% sure.
Yeah, aren't they
because
just
the-
falling asleep? And
That's
that?
what we think. And I pretty much were pretty sure about this. But what if there is some possibility that people who are sentenced to death by lethal injection are suffering inside, like they can feel the pain for until the few 2 or 3 minutes until their body dies, but their nervous system is shut down, so they're unable to signal or scream or anything, but they're like just violently dying in pain. But
I'm
visually, to the
pretty
people
sure.
looking, it looks like they just fell asleep. Is that a humane way to die then? Because we as spectators view it as he didn't react, therefore it must be humane.
But
While inside,
wouldn't that be better than the electrical chair?
yes, if the electrical chair is just agonizing pain, just agonizing
pain, just
pain,
pain.
Just
agonizing pain for a few seconds. Kind of a tough nut to swallow, but it's yeah. But you've had those cases in surgeries where they haven't used the proper amount of anesthesia, where patients have been unable to make any response physically, but they have felt the pain. And they were conscious, but the muscles were so numb that they couldn't talk, scream, or make any movements. Like, if there was a case of that, would those lethal injections, if they were like that, would those be still considered humane?
I don't know.
It's
But as I said, the death by implosion won't feel a thing.
Yeah,
It's only-
death by
yeah,
bullet.
Yeah, or death by bullet, yeah.
yeah, but we as spectators perceive it as very graphic and gruesome to witness. Therefore, it must not be humane.
No,
So you
no,
think
yeah.
the visual has more to say than the feeling of the person who is dying?
It's kind of a mix. It has to be both visually okay and or okay to witness, or even okay to imagine.
It must
And
be a
it has
pleasing
to be
death.
painless. It must be a pleasing death in both the aspect of pain for the one who is dying, and in the aspect of visuals for the people who may
The
witness
spectators.
this. For the spectators, yeah.
But isn't it more fun to see a violent death when you're sitting there with your
Nah,
popcorn
it-
watching it?
Fight a lion!
Maybe people perceived it as fun in the Middle Ages. In the
Like the Colosseum, you just have a lot of people with the death penalty fight it out, and the one who survives will have some kind of other sentence.
funny thing, we would like to imagine the Roman Colosseum as brutal and people were killed constantly in there, but actually most gladiators just dueled and didn't die. They like accepted the defeat in the duel to fight another day to provide more entertainment. But there were deaths in the Colosseum, but it wasn't the norm. But as we like to think of it as today, like people, it was a bloodbath. No, it quite wasn't. But people did die there.
Yeah, but imagining this being in the old age, and you're fighting
Olden times, okay.
Olden times, and then during the fight you break your leg, and the person doesn't kill you, right? It's like, oh, you forfeit your life. No,
I yield. Yes.
Yeah, and with your broken leg, you go home to your master. What does he do? Well, he chops off your head because you're useless.
Yeah, maybe
many ways to go. Many ways to go.
If you got a broken leg, then you're not worth it.
It's like the Family Guy clip where he approaches the horse with a damaged leg, and the horse is like, yeah, I'm fine, I can stand on my leg, but the farmer is like, Mr. Horse, I gotta put you down. And then the horse does a switcheroo and grabs the rifle from the man, and he shoots the farmer instead. It's like, yeah, how does it feel now? Does your leg hurt? Do we need to put you down? Like, yeah, it's kind of brutal what we do to horses, just because because in our eyes it's a useless animal. Then, if it's a work tool, I don't know if people use horses like that in the modern day of farming as farm tools. I don't think so.
No, we have tractors.
We have tractors.
No, but other places in
the Amish though, they use horses. Still.
No, not just not just the Amish.
In the less developed countries, I would like to think that farm animals are used as farming tools to
because they are
farming.
They are fairly cheap to use, and when you're done with it, you eat it.
I guess.
Yeah. You don't let good meat spoil.
Not to take this too far away from the submarine, because we all know what kind of steering wheel they had on the sub.
Yes, it is the infamous
Xbox controller.
Infamous. Yes.
Yeah, the one from Logitech. And they have now seen an increase in sale.
Good PR.
Yeah, people are now buying the Logitech controller.
Okay.
So that's
wait,
good.
A Logitech controller. Was it an Xbox controller?
It was a Logitech controller.
I have been misinformed then.
Yeah, I thought as
because
well.
The common man on the street sees a gaming controller and they just say, it's a PlayStation Xbox controller. Yes.
Oh, this was the Logitech controller.
It's a Logitech gaming controller.
And they have now seen a surge in sale on places like eBay and Amazon over the weekend. So, good on them. The controller survived the implosion. No,
they didn't.
They didn't.
we can't know for certain what made the submarine implode.
But just like the implosion of the submarine made it really popular on in games, now the controller as well is doing really well. So
weird.
Not the PR you want, but I guess all
the
PR is good PR, as we say.
PR. Is it even those letters in English? Public relations? PR.
Yeah.
It's good publicity.
Yeah.
All publicity is good
Is it
publicity.
actually good publicity? But
I don't know.
If it led to good publicity.
If it led to increase in sales for a gaming product, such as a gaming controller from Logitech, sure.
Good on them.
Yeah. More profit.
Imagine if the people on the submarine were listening to Tipsy Wednesday when they died, then we would be super popular right now.
Would we?
Yeah, we would. If people around the world knew that on the submarine they were listening to us when they died, we would be super popular. I think.
Maybe.
Mm.
Maybe. Yeah.
Or as a user commented on TikTok last week when I released the preview clip for our podcast, he said, "This is a podcast," and it is.
Yeah, it most certainly is a podcast.
Yeah, this is a podcast.
Yeah, this is a podcast. Yeah.
All right.
Well, Björn, Rammstein.
Yes. I don't know if you've heard anything about this.
Oops.
Oh.
Keep going. Keep going.
No
Well.
matter. It's you're just checking off the mark.
Yeah, I'm
where
checking off
before
topic. Yes,
the-
talked about.
Have you heard anything about the accusations that has come forth about the lead, the vocal, the singer, the lead artist in Rammstein, Till Lindemann? Have you heard anything about this?
Yes, there are some
Yeah.
rape accusations going around.
Yes,
I think.
yes. And it kind of led me to believe I don't know what to believe. It's a lot of people has come forth. Numerous amounts of people have come forth with different types of allegations or accusations regarding the same things, sexual. Like some claim they were groomed at concerts and led to parties, after concert parties where they could be easily exploited. Some people claim they were drugged in their drinks and abused. It's I don't know the details. I know there's a lot of accusations going on, and there's too many accusations for me to go like, they're probably all false.
Yeah, but isn't that how it is usually? Most often with bands or super famous people, like everything is hunky dory, and then suddenly one person comes out of the woodwork saying something, and straight afterwards, 10,000 other people just join the chorus.
Yeah, because one detail I took notice of is the I don't know if it was the lawyer firm or the lawyers of Rammstein or Till Lindemann claimed that if there comes forth any more allegations, false allegations or accusations against our client, we will reverse sue you. This was a tweet or whatever, and it was shortly after they put it up, they took it down. But, it's kind of those reasons. If you as a single person come forth with an accusation against someone super famous, they just reverse sue you for false accusations, and you're suddenly finding yourself in a shit ton of trouble. But if you come forth as one person out of a group of people, it kind of, you have more support. It's not you against this giant of a lawyer firm, or it's I suspect it's something along those lines, because the lawyers, they want to protect the clients, and they use the law and twist it to their advantage and claim like, hey, you have false allegations, we'll just reverse sue you so that all your allegations are false. So you're kind of taking a risk if you're going against a huge giant such as the band Rammstein, or
But if such is the
band,
case,
the
you
person.
shouldn't stay silent if they raped you. You should come forth.
It's
I guess with all these allegations, some of them might be true, and some of them are just there and think they can get quick money, easy money.
Yeah, I think it's a mix, but there's too many people coming forth for all of this to be, as the lawyers says, completely false. None of these are true. That's what the lawyers claim, but it's like, there's too many. So
maybe they weren't true at the time, but now they feel more truthful.
Maybe it's a case of it wasn't popular back then. It wasn't okay back
Bob-
then to come forth. It wasn't okay back then when it happened 10 or 20 years ago to come forth about something that happened at an after party when you as a let's say a super fangirl were led to the back rooms and abused. Maybe it wasn't a hot topic in society then. Maybe it wasn't something you did because you didn't know you could. But nowadays, times are different.
Times have changed.
So yes, so maybe it's
But isn't it kind of implied when you join the band in the backstage room when you were younger?
No. They
They're
will
going to
just have fun, good time.
And sex is fun, good time. Mostly.
yeah, if it's consensual.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
the
yeah.
thing. Consensual. Consent.
Consent, it's a key word.
That's what most of these claims are. It wasn't consensual. It wasn't with consent. Or it was heavily implied that they needed to do sexual acts. I haven't read into the details of this, but I've just read a lot of different things from a lot of different people, from different news outlets, but they all kind of say the same thing. A lot of shady things probably happened. But that made me, as a fan of their music, it's like,
Is this the
question
Marilyn Manson
myself,
stuff all over again?
is it the Marilyn Manson stuff all over again? How good does their product need to be for me to ignore these accusations?
It's just good PR. Just keep listening to them.
No, because it's a case of it varies with what they've done, what they are accused of, and how much of a fan you are, I guess.
Yeah, but does what they have done mess up what you like about their music? Like the songs are
No, you may
still the same,
like
right?
the
So-
music, but maybe you are so disgusted by the things they have done that you do not want to support them in any way, shape, or form.
I don't know.
Maybe.
The thing with music is you don't need to see it; you just listen to it.
Yeah, you
Uh,
listen to it, and
You don't see the
this-
people behind the voices.
Yes,
right?
but in your Spotify or in your music app or on YouTube, you get that click, and that statistic gives them some form of revenue if you
Mhm.
listen to it. So, yeah,
Well, I have
by
Rammstein,
simply
I
listening,
have,
you're supporting.
I have Marilyn Manson. I have Rammstein in my list, and I will not delete them just because. I still like the music.
So would I say.
It is
I
the thing,
like
but,
the music, but
take a distance from the artist, but keep the art. Still.
yeah, it's
Do you enjoy supporting a rapist?
yeah, it's like you can't be in the middle of anything. You have to either be totally against it or totally for it. It's you can't be in the middle.
You are
Yeah, well.
for supporting rape.
If you listen to this, it means you're supporting rape.
Rapist.
Well, of course, some
rapist.
people will have you believe that, but I don't think that is the case.
Well, it certainly sets some songs in perspective. You got like
Yeah,
Pussy and
The song just called. Have you seen that music video? It's just literal
Yeah.
porn.
yeah. Of course, it was very famous on our high school, I would say. Edgy teenagers.
Yeah.
Edgy teenagers. Yeah, it's
But no, if you like the music, keep listening to it.
but you have to accept that your listening, your click on YouTube, your click on Spotify, it does somewhat support them by giving them ad revenue in one way or another.
Oh,
so you
of
have
course.
to accept that fact as well.
But as
Even
long
though
as
you don't
know,
support their actions, you can't be like in total denial and say that, no, I don't support these people in any way, shape, or form, but I still listen to their music. If you listen to their music, you are supporting them a tiny bit with ad revenue in
but
one
you
way or
can
another.
support them with ad revenue, but you don't need to stand for what they've done.
No, it's
Right. If we couldn't listen to music to people who did bad things, then a lot of music would go straight out the window. Again, like Marilyn Manson, Michael Jackson, for instance. He had some things going on there.
He
shady,
allegedly.
shady things that allegedly happened. Yeah, it's the same thing, same case with music artists, with band, with movie stars. It's the same old thing. Like a lot of people, famous people, did a lot of bad things. Some definitely did bad things, and others maybe did bad things, and others most definitely did not, but they were still accused. It's a wide variety of cases, and you have to like tackle each one by themselves. How bad was the things they maybe did? How bad were the things they definitely did?
That's also a thing. If you're super famous, you might be an easy target for a quick cash grab for someone.
Yeah, it's also the case of like completely false accusations in an attempt for some people to get rich. It's like, I'll just make up a story where I was at the same party as this person and make very strong accusations in hopes that I'll get money in a court case, Yep.
Are you saying Kevin Spacey is back on the table?
No. Well, I don't know much about that case either. I just know that he most definitely
did some bad things.
But with some young boys using his status in the movie industry, using his connections, he misused his position in the system he was in.
Yeah, but even though you
and a lot of
not
people
watch critically acclaimed shows like House of Cards just because he's in it.
No, you keep watching it, but
because there are.
But you have to accept that some of your interest goes to support that.
Yeah,
actor.
but there are a lot of innocent people also partaking in making that show, right? So you're also supporting them who are kind of just stuck in the middle of it all.
But I think I didn't watch a lot of that show. I think I watched the first season and a few episodes of the second season. But I know somewhere along the lines where all of these accusations piled on top of Kevin Spacey, he kind of was forced out of the show. He was written out of the show and he wasn't the main lead anymore, which wasn't the plan originally, but it kind of,
Yeah, it had to be that way.
It had to be that way because of accusations and things that were... he admitted to some things as well. Yeah. So... I don't know the details about that, but I kind of dropped off the show for other reasons. I think I had problems with my HBO at the time. It is an HBO show.
No?
Yeah,
no, it's a net.
No.
Am I completely wrong?
Netflix show. Huh.
Yeah.
Okay, I fell off the show for some reason. Yeah, it's on Netflix. So I don't know. For unrelated reasons, I fell off the show before these things were put in the spotlight about Kevin Spacey. But would I go back to watch the show? If I had no other shows to watch, that's the problem. I have a lot of other things to watch. So yeah, I think it was a good show in itself.
But we can go back in time as well and say O.J. Simpson. He was quite famous back in the day. Still is.
Yeah, very, very.
he was actually in the running for the part of the Terminator as well. But he didn't look like a dangerous killer, so they hired Arnold instead.
Oh, how wrong they were!
Little did they know. But he played in the Naked Gun movies, which I love, and I won't stop watching them just because he's in them, right? So
Maybe you should.
has nothing to. Yeah, but he's not the main lead though. That's Leslie Nielsen, and his slapstick humor is super funny. And that's the thing with famous people. You can't stop, or you can stop watching or listening to everything they've done, but you, in the same process as not supporting them, you're not supporting all the other innocent people who are involved in the projects. So there are many ways to look at it.
Yeah. But I think you have to accept that by watching or consuming that media in one way or another supports that actor or band or in a tiny bit at least. So you have to accept that.
Yeah,
That
I
it
don't
does
think
support
I
them in
don't
a
think
little way.
think over it at all. If I want to watch a show and one of the actors turned out to be a killer or a rapist, I don't give a fuck. If I like the show, I will continue watching the show.
Will you now?
Depending on how bad the things were that they did.
Perhaps thus far I haven't stopped listening to music just because people have been seen as rapists or whatever.
How about this? No, it's not. I don't know if I can ask you guys about because I'm not sure what this guy's name is. It's he was found guilty in a lot of he drugged girls and took them into his hotel room and just had his way with them. And it was a famous actor in America. He had a lot of stand-up comedy shows, and he had his own like homely, cozy sitcom drama TV show. What was his name again?
Oh yeah, the what the fuck? I know what you mean.
Very, very, very famous in America.
Yeah, I used to watch one of his shows when I was a kid. Actually,
It was a very cozy, love. You play this like cozy part in this carefree sitcom show.
What?
Bill Cosby.
Bill Cosby, for fuck's sake, yeah. He did a lot of bad shit throughout his career. Like drugging girls and having his way with them in his hotel room and having his guards hired standing watch by the door while he was having his way with them in his hotel room. And they all must have known what was going on.
Yeah, but he seems like such a...
Yes, he seemed like such a
good guy.
jolly old good guy.
Yeah.
That's the fucking problem.
I would still say he did a really good movie back in the day, like Fat Albert. The Adventures of Fat Albert was a really popular cartoon show back in the day, I think. Yeah, and he voices one of the characters in the show. If I liked the show, I would still watch it, even though he voices a character in it.
You are fucking shells.
No, because the show is good and there are other actors in it which didn't rape people, so.
Who are not rapists!
So, yeah. I won't excuse him for what he's done, but, you know, if I like the product, I'll watch it, I'll listen to it.
Yeah. I don't know. I never paid much attention to his works anyways, so it's easy for me to say that.
It's because you're too young. You're too young.
Yeah. Maybe it's easy for me because I never paid attention to his works anyways, so it's easy for me to say, no, I don't want to watch or listen to anything he did or whatever, worked on what was it, the Bill Cosby show?
Yeah.
Was it? Yeah.
Yeah, that's not something for us, I guess.
Yeah, it's not. It wasn't in the Norwegian culture. It was very much an American culture thing. So it's easy for me to say, but hey, if I was an American growing up with watching him on as a kid on TV, and it's like, hey, this is funny stuff, maybe I would have a different answer.
Say, in this day and age, say if, shall we say, the actor in a very popular show these days, take one of the actors in The Boys. If they were accused of being a rapist, would you stop watching The Boys?
Oh, yeah. That would be a perfect case of I'm too much a fan of the show itself that I wouldn't be able to stop watching the show because an actor in that show did something horrible. Let's say the lead actor. Who is the lead actor in The Boys? Is it Anthony Starr playing Homelander? Is that the lead actor, or would you say
he's the main bad guy though?
He's the main bad guy, but he makes the show.
But
He makes the show.
the main character would be Dennis Quaid's character, Huey.
Yeah, I would guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Although I don't
Yeah,
like
but-
him the best in the show.
No,
I
but
like
we
Anthony
have
Starr,
Butcher and
Homelander. Yeah.
yeah, of course, but he is the main guy, I guess.
He's become the poster guy, at least poster boy for The Boys for Homelander.
Homelander.
Yes. Yeah. If any, yeah, that would be a perfect case of me saying like, yeah, I accept. No, I don't accept that they've done horrible stuff. I acknowledge they've done horrible shit, but I'm too much of a fan of the show to stop watching. It's
and the
yeah.
same goes.
You had me there.
Say a comedy show, and let's take Top Gear, and then you have a guy like Jeremy Clarkson and does something outrageous, and he get cancelled, and he starts a new show. Would you not watch the new show?
Does something outrageous. In this case, he was mad
it
at
wasn't
his.
a rape, but
Yeah,
like,
he
he's
had
been
a
cancelled many times over because he's doing stupid shit all the time. He's a
But
controversial character.
Yep.
But yeah, I still watch the things he does because I like the things he do on TV. I find him funny, entertaining, and I will watch his shows because of that, and not because of the other things he does outside of it. So yeah,
Very well. Yeah, so
There we have
I
it.
think that's a fair way of thinking about fair way of going about it.
you kind of have to think of it like that, or else you couldn't watch anything. Almost.
Yeah, there's bad stuff in everything if you look hard enough. Some things you don't have to look too hard on, like certain actors or shows, but there's bad stuff in everything. It's if you look hard enough. There's bad stuff going on in that movie company, in the Hollywood industry as a whole, Hollywood movie industry, and in some way, shape, or form, you are supporting bad stuff, regardless of what you do.
You're a baddie.
It's just the difference whether or not you know about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And with that,
Yes.
I think it's time to leave. Before we say something we shouldn't. So if you
we
like,
probably have already.
most certainly, many times over in many episodes. But you, our listener, if you like what we do, please support us in the link below. And remember to follow us on all our social medias. And all the links will be posted in the episode or in the links below if you watch this on YouTube. So, good night.
Adios.
Good night.